What's up, guys? It's your girl D from Voices Gathering Live. What is going on? Welcome to a new show and new conversation. Hello. Hey. Listen, sometimes missing 1 week seems like a lifetime. So, how's everyone doing? What is going on out there in internet land? What's up, people? What's up? What's going on? Okay, listen. I always start the show wanting to jump right into the conversation because I am very cognizant of your time. Very cognizant of your time. So I like to wait to give people a few minutes to get in here when I see the numbers, but I'm not going to hold those who do show up. All right, what's up? It's a new week, a new conversation, and I just want to spend a little time with you guys talking about something that's very important to me. Very important. So, people want to call me when I'm on the show, when they should be in the comments watching the show. Okay. Before we jump into this conversation, I just want to remind you of the house rules. And you know these rules, but I always am very hopeful that people who watch the show will share the show with other people, and therefore you will share this information with them and they would know the rules of this place, right? So when you come in, please do me and yourself a favor, click the subscribe button, also click the notification bell to get all notifications when I am live. Please do that because I don't want you to miss out on good conversation. It's important. House rules. You should know that you can find me any place. You can find me here on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, where you are today, YouTube, right? I'm always here every Monday, unless we give you a bonus show or I tell you, please do not tune into the show because the show is canceled for today, which is why it's very important that you follow me, subscribe to get involved in the conversation through the website, which is www.voicesgathering.com. Voicesgathering.com. There, if you sign up for the mailing list, I can notify you when there is no show. And then you're not saying, well, where is she? She didn't have a show. I came, I was waiting, and I appreciate you showing up, but I don't want you waiting when there is no show. And if you show up and there's no show, please go to the archive show. The people that subscribe to this channel, you guys have not seen all of the shows. So go back and look at the shows. I still get credit for those shows, but you get some aha moments and an opportunity to engage in that conversation. So please do me and yourself a favor. Check me out on pre-recorded shows, as well as please www.voicesgathering.com. There is where you can sign up on the mailing list. And then when the mailing list goes out, you will be notified that there is no show, upcoming shows, any kind of announcements. Alrighty. Okay. Look, we always create a Q&A portion of the show. In the comments is where you ask your questions. Also, where you're going to get your answers. I answer every comment that you post. Whether you like the show, didn't like the show, you post in the comment, I am very much responding to that. So you're not just posting and you're not going to get any feedback from me. And I may even bring that information on a future show. So please do me a favor and get involved in the comments. It helps massages love upon the algorithm. I'm not going to go into that. That just really means that you guys are supporting me here on this platform. Let's keep this show moving, right? I like to create real conversation. Real conversation with real talk. I'm not here to waste your time, be fluff and all that stuff. I'm really here curious about what you think about what it is I'm talking about. You also have an opportunity, if you're bold enough, and I think you would be, to come on and be live with me on the show. You can sit right next to me on the show virtually. You don't even have to come into studio. So if you want to be a part of the conversation live, do it. I welcome you. We got some great shows coming in the month of October. Get ready. A lot of interesting guests. All right, people. Now, let's jump into the meat and potatoes of today's conversation. Know your circle and the role they play. Know your circle and the role they play. I have to tell you, I generate conversations around personal experience, curiosities that I have myself. I'm always bringing that kind of conversation to the platform because I'm really saying to myself, listen, if I'm thinking about this in this manner, I'm sure other people have similar thoughts, if not the same thought. So I wanted to create a space where you can come in and talk to me about what your views are about anything we're talking about, specifically who's in your circle and what role do they play. I found myself asking that question. People will come into my life and they would think when I talk to them and they're getting to know me that everything is so in order because I present that way. I'm a person who is very structured. I know how to have fun. Don't get me twisted. I know how to kind of step away from the norm. But typically, I'm an atypical personality, so I typically follow structure. And when I deviate from that, even if I want to, it's kind of a little bit challenging for me, right? An example, I'm a person that would work myself crazy. I would work myself crazy. All these thoughts of wanting to do so many different things and accomplish them well. Not just do them just to be doing them, but accomplish them well. That's me. I just like being productive. I like accomplishing things that I set to do. And when I am faced to do that alone, because it's not someone else's passion, I have to analyze who's in my circle and what are the roles they play. So let's break this down and talk about what does it mean, right? So for talk, many people would say, well, this person's in my circle, that person in my circle. And a lot of people got a lot of people in their circle, but a lot of those people in your circle aren't doing anything. And maybe people or you are comfortable with that. I myself am not. I am not comfortable with people taking up space in a circle that I created because I'm creating the circle with intentions, right? So slow it down. My circle of family, right? My circle of family is different, but parallel to my circle of true friends. It is. Because some of your friends feel like family than some of your actual family does, right? So my family circle is very important. It is the blood that binds us. So you would think that when you have a family connection by blood, that those individuals in your family know you would think, and they know what you need and what motivates you, what puts you at ease. They just know you. I've come to learn over the years, this is not new, that those people in that circle of family sometimes don't even know you. And they don't know you because they're not trying to get to know you as you journey through this life, right? You're not the same person that you were when you were an adolescent. You aren't the same person that you were when you were a teenager, young adult, or full adult, right? We change, we evolved. So when we're evolving, some people in these circle relationships, i.e. right now family, they expect you to be the person that they're comfortable with. And you're not that person. Your needs as a teenager and your needs as an adult are totally different. Let's kind of compare this to the friends. I do not use the word friends loosely. I don't. And if you follow the show on Instagram, what I do is I give, for the most part daily, gems, GEM, for the day. So gem for the day. And it's a quote, motivational comment, something to get you thinking. And one of that is, you can have people who say they're your friends and yet they're stabbing you in your back. Hence the reason why I do not use that word loosely. I don't. I have no desire to use the word loosely. I don't. I believe that people need to know what it means to be a friend. They do. And many of them do not. So let me break down to you. What does it mean to have a circle of support, friend? So a circle of support is a group of people who invite you to give guidance to you, support to you, and help you plan for your future. Remember, I started this conversation by saying that I always like to bring topics when they very much relate to me and the way I'm thinking, as well as kind of share this information with other people to see if you think the same, you're jiving with the conversation. This is really how I formulate a lot of these topics. They're interesting to me. So when I talk about my support network with my friends, my family, I truly expect. People say have no expectations, but I do, because I'm letting you in that space. My friend, with my family, I have no other choice because we are related by blood. So I expect that the people I share my space with, that circle of friends, that they show up in a way that I would show up for them or even greater. Right? Some people say, well, just accept people for the way they are. Just because you have an expectation from the people that's in your network does not mean that you don't accept them for who they are. You just expect a little bit more from them than what they're willing to give. It's the truth. And I have been privileged to hear people say, well, I don't try to change people. That's not changing people. That's you changing yourself to conform to what they're willing to give you. So who should be doing the changing? Should it be you? Should it be them? Or should it be the two? I say the two. And I say hopefully the two are changing and going in the same direction. It's important. It's important. It's important. It's important. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't need that. I absolutely don't need that. I don't need my circle of friends to show up for me. If they show up, they do. If they don't, they don't. Then why are they in your network? Why are they in your circle of what I'm saying is support? What role are they playing? If they just show up just to be showing up, what is their role? I really see people befriend people just because they are befriending them. They're just like, oh, this is my friend. But what makes them your friend? In my opinion, I have to earn your friendship. I don't expect you to just give it freely. And there are some people just like, give me your friendship. They just, they give it freely. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to do anything for it. But yet they're complaining when you don't show up in the way they need you to show up. I want us to think about this conversation really on the next level. If you have a circle of support, but you don't know the roles they play, then you probably need to go back to the drawing board and really think about what are the roles people play in your life and why do they play those roles? A person I would consider a friend of mine said something to me, and I'm going to be full transparent. They had said that, whoa, you're letting me have it. And I thought about that. I was like, my friend said that I was letting them have it. And it didn't bother me, but it definitely sat with me. Not bother me to the point where like I couldn't respond or think. No, it sat with me, so I had to think about it. What I don't like to do is overthink about something. I'm a person of communication. I believe that if you want to know something, find a way to ask the question. Do not sit with your own assumptions about what it is you're thinking, because the likelihood is that you're going to think yourself into a black hole. And you're not going to be able to get out. And if you get out, you may come out of that with scars that you didn't need to if you had just asked the question. And in my network of friends, or people in your network of friends, there's some people who can't handle you asking a question to get confirmation, to have a full understanding. Going back to this friend. So the friend says to me, you was letting me have it. And I said for a couple of days, I knew I was going to see the friend. And I said to them, I'm a little confused. I just want to make sure I clarify something, make sure I understand. What did you mean? And the person shared, and I shared back, and then they shared, and I shared back, and I walked away from that conversation believing that they had a different thought about how I was processing that, what led me to that conversation. I could have stayed in my thinking, let's call it stinking thinking, right? And just really messed up my relationship with the person. And everybody plays a part in this network. Everyone. It's not my job to do your part of our friendship. My job is to do my part about our friendship. Your job is to do your part about the friendship. I can be my own friend. If I need to do your part, then this is just not working for me. It just doesn't serve me. I have relationships that serve me. Going back to what I was talking about the definition of a circle of support, that network. Again, it's a group of people who invite you to give you guidance, support, and to help you plan your future. Let's get real. With my podcast channel and all the things that's happening in my life, which I'm not going to bore you with because you're not here to hear all that, but I will give you transparency. I relied on my friends to help me propel this show in the next chapter. I do. You say you support me? Well, this is how I need you to support me. Now, I know some people who in their communication with me said, well, it's not that we're not friends. I just don't XYZ when it came to the show. And not in a negative way, like they didn't think the show was good. It's just that their dedication or commitment to helping me grow the show was not what I was hoping it would be. Full transparency. And again, let me reiterate, that does not mean that this show is not good. This show is damn good. It's good. It's very good. But I came into doing my show thinking I had to prove that to people. I got something good here. The same very people that I would have conversations with off the show would be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You give such good advice. Thank you so much. You're so articulate. Thank you so much. You're so well versed in this conversation. Thank you so much. Your clinical background and your observation and way of assessing and way of treating, all those kind of different things play a good part in how you talk. I love it. Okay. Well, I need you to love it by supporting me on the show. Excuse me. So, I say that a true friend could really be open with me saying that. They can handle it. They're not easily broken in that conversation. Because that person role for me is a supportive role. That's what it is. It's full supportive role. Right? So if it's supportive role that you play for me, I need you to play that role. I do. I think some people thought that the way, and I got to use me as the example. I don't want to put other people's business out there by calling names. So I'll use me in my platform or things in my life because I believe in being transparent. When creating the podcast, I came in there like I got something good. Now you got to market yourself and sell it to people. And those people say, you got it, you got it, you got it, you can do this. And they're saying, well, what do you need? Or they'll say, well, I'm going to support you. Most time they'll actually volunteer that I'll support you. But they don't. They don't. So then I have to go back and reanalyze this circle of network. Don't mean that I love them any less. Don't mean that I would not support them in some form or fashion. It just means it tells me what role they're playing at that moment. And what I have to do is not mold them into what I want them to be in my network, but actually embrace who they are in my network. And that embracement can be with arm's distance, or it can be very close to me. I also understand that the people in my circle also will not look the same as the next person, right? So one person may refer 12 people and the other person may send $100. I've had that within this month. I've had a friend of mine's out of the blue on 2 separate occasions just cash app me. And are they here every week? No, they're not. Not every week are they here. But they do show up. They go to Instagram. They send money. Those things are beautiful. I see Naomi. I know Rob is in there. These people show up. And I appreciate that. Now, that's not to take away from the person who actually shows up once a month. You showed up. But I understand the role you play in my network. Right? I understand that. You're not someone who's consistent. That's no dig. We're being transparent in the conversation, because I'm sure many of you watching this show know people that I'm describing. You know people in your own personal life, on your job, at your church, that are exactly what I'm describing. And our job is to know who these people are and what their role is. That's what it is. So don't get upset. Don't feel like this is a dig. It's not. It's not. I'm hoping that this conversation will help somebody realize what their worth is, understand how to distinguish what to accept in a relationship and not to accept, understand how to look at the relationship for what it is and not what you hope it to be. You know, you can't be working the relationship by yourself. The other people have to be working that relationship. And you have to be okay with the way they're working it. You do. They don't actually give you no other choice. You have to. They're not saying, listen, if I back off you for a second, would you be okay with that? Because I can't take this. I don't know. That, even that thought makes me think. There are people who want to come into your life the way they want to come in, not the way you need them to come in. They come into your life saying, I'm going to be this kind of friend. You either accept it or you leave it. And many people I have talked to has decided to accept the way the person is coming into their life, while the whole time they're feeling empty as if they were still alone all along. What sense does that make? If you have 5 people whom you've been going around saying is your friend, and you honestly show up for them all the time, but when you look around, they're not there, they don't show up, and every time there's an opportunity to say why they're not showing up, you have heard that excuse over and over and over, or they just don't give you an excuse at all. But you are going around believing the relationship is more than it is. So what do you need to do to reevaluate the people in your circle? What do you need to do to understand what their role is in that circle? And how do you help them become more in that relationship? Or how do you embrace yourself to move forward from the relationship? Listen, you can do bad all by yourself. You don't need people in your network not showing up. It only makes things worse. It only makes things worse. It does. You're thinking that, oh, well, I'm just going to let them be the person that they are. They're actually not even looking for you to do that. They're doing that already without you letting them do that. See, a true friend, a true support network will figure out, ask the question, what do you need? And how can I show up in that capacity? And if I can't show up, let me tell you, I can't show up that way, but what else can I do to show up? And they show up. Let's read some questions. Let's read some questions. I see a comment. So let's go to QA. Let's see here. I believe in supporting people I care about and those who do positive things and have impactful messages. Stay focused and stay on track. You know your worth. Okay, come on, Naomi. Well said. Well said. Well said. Well said. You echo what I'm saying. You echo on what I'm saying. And you don't have to, true friends, true support networks, because it's not just allocated to friends. It's true support on your job, true support in your family, true support in your marriage, true support in your friendship. All of this is across the board. It's not just one thing or one set group of people. If you marry and that person does not play the role that they're supposed to play by showing up in the way you need them to show up and not the way they want to show up, something needs to be reevaluated. And I'm not saying go get divorced, and I'm not saying break your 3-year relationship with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whomever your significant other is. But what I am saying is find your voice and let the person know, I need you to show up, because it's not happening. We are so afraid of losing people who aren't already showing up that we sit in silence in this place of loneliness because we don't know how to tell the person, you know what? I need you to show up in a different capacity. I need you to show up in a different capacity. See, let me put it on me. You could call me and say, Diamond, I need you. I need you. You are my friend. I'm invested in this relationship. Not well, let me figure out what I can do. Nope, absolutely not. Because you didn't call me, email me, text me for that. What you call me to say, I need you. My response to that is, what is it that you need? So now I can formulate how I can show up in that capacity. People got, oh my goodness, just look at social media. There's people sitting with 1 million followers. There are people sitting with 83.6 subscribers. I mean, you have all these people. Look, full transparency. Oh, can I see it here? I'm sure I can go. I'm going to step away from my here. I have 281 subscribers to this channel. 281. And let me tell you something. Again, that number has gone up, gone down, gone up, gone down, gone up, gone down. It has. That has truly happened. And it goes up and down, but I understand the algorithm of that. I know that if I don't post a lot, or some people say they're going to subscribe, honey, but when the comments, I don't know. For whatever reason, it goes up and it goes down. And in the beginning, I would question myself like, oh my gosh, am I doing good content? You see how that network could get a little jaded, honey? It could get a little jaded. You could be like, well, wait a minute, hold on. What is going on here? What is happening? I don't know. Okay. So what is happening? I would be like, am I not doing it? But I am doing it. It's not me. It's the people who said they were going to support me. Guys, remember, I'm using me. So I hope people don't get their feelings hurt. If you get your feelings hurt, you might want to think about this conversation. Okay? Think about the conversation. Because I'm not here to bust anyone's bubble. I'm here to speak transparency and truth. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to have a full-fledged, transparent conversation so somebody, if not everybody, can walk away and be like, you know what? Well, let me think about that. I'm telling you, there's a lot of lonely people Okay, good. There's a lot of lonely people sitting with a lot of friends, i.e., Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, TikTok, all these things. And yet they still feel alone. Let's be very clear. I felt like that before. I have. When it comes to my show, I have. My show can be a monetized show. But people are like, that's not why I'm here. That's not my responsibility. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not here to do all that. I'm like, well, wait a minute. What are you here for? What are you here for? I didn't create this show because I'm bored. I created this show because I have something to say. There's many people who have something to say. I want to create meaningful conversations. So let's have those conversations and get right into it. That's what I created the show for. I did. I created it for that reason. Because I had something to say, and many people I come in contact with have something to say. They do. And I want to help you say it. We have to learn. We have to learn. We have to be open. We have to be honest. We have to be brutally honest. And brutally honest does not mean being rude. It means being honest and to the point. I'm curious, those who will watch this show, have you ever found yourself amongst people but yet still feeling alone? They have taken on titles, or you have given them titles in your life, but they don't operate from that system that you have put them in or allow them to walk in. There are people who just want to be wanted, but don't even know how to show up in that capacity, which is why I think you see a lot of empty relationships. People going around saying, I love you, but they don't even know the meaning of love. There's people who are on jobs and trying to foster relationships with their colleagues, but yet they feel like they're outcast, not part of the team, getting their back kicked in by people who's supposed to lead them with a gentle hand. You know, I look at people and I just say, come on. And one thing I cannot do, people, let's be very clear. If you know me, I cannot hide how I feel. That's why I communicate. You know, if I'm thinking about something, I think about it. And I may not want to talk about it at the moment because I need to think about how to approach it. I think that's very much important. Part of growth is how to approach the conversation. So I may sit back and just remove myself so I can analyze, is it something worth me figuring out how to make it better? Or is this at a point where I just need to step away gracefully and just say, you know what, this relationship has run its course and therefore I'm going to bow out gracefully. Peace. Let's be clear. Those people in that network, some of those people that you leave behind now want to judge it because now they got something to say. They're now saying, oh, okay, well, wait a minute. Now you got an attitude. You copped an attitude. You don't want to be friends. You didn't want to talk about it. But when I wanted to talk about it, you didn't want to talk about it. And when we talked about it, you made excuses for your behavior. You rationalized your behavior. You didn't take accountability for the way you were showing up, i.e. not showing up in the relationship. Therefore, I just let it be what it is. And I walked away gracefully. I don't get people. I don't get people who think they have the right to just treat you any kind of way in that relationship without you responding the way you're responding to it. Help me understand because I don't get it. I don't get it. And truth be told is I don't want to get it. I don't. I got one life. And the people in my life are important to me. My job, my church members that I fellowship with, my family, my friends. When you are part of my life, I know the role I'm expecting you to play in that. And then I allow you to show me how you're going to monopolize that space. And if it serves the relationship, I praise you in that relationship. I do. I am very much always thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm showing up. That's just who I am. And the thing of it is I don't think you need to tell people. You need to just show them. If you have to tell people all the time, well, this is how I'm showing up. I show up this way. Now, I know how you show up. You don't show up. Or I know how you show up and you're always there. And always don't mean every second, people, because I know some people are going to take this too literal. No, it just means you show up. Come on, people. Please jump in the comment. Share this show with somebody. Even share the show with someone. Because it may not apply to them, but it may apply to someone they know. Share it. Click the share button. The share button is right at the bottom. There's a thumbs up, thumbs down, which says dislike and share. You can do that. Just share it. Share it to your social media. If you're on Facebook, you can share this show on your Facebook page. You can do share, click, copy the link, and you can post it any place you want to post it. But I'm telling you, more people need to be having this conversation and figuring it out so that they can set themselves free from people who are taking up space in their life that don't deserve to be there. Some of us need to leave jobs that we don't need to be at anymore because they don't serve us. And I'm not telling anybody to quit their job, but I'm telling you that we get one life. One life. I'm always reminding myself, Diamond, you get one life. It's important to live it to the fullest. So if you're happy, be happy. If you're feeling sad, feel sad and do something about it. Right? Do something about it. Do something about it. And most importantly, Diamond, surround yourself. Go dip into that pool of circle of friends. Those people who are walking around with titles saying that they're your friend, and see if they really show up as a friend. See that. I'm telling you that if you share this with some people who may get a little like, well, what you trying to say? Those people who have that reaction, them are the people that you might want to reevaluate. Well, let me see what their role is in my relationship. For real. Straight for real. Because they're getting attitude now about you talking about what you need instead of figuring out how they can show like, oh, wait, I'm sorry. I didn't know that I wasn't doing my part and you needed me in a different way. And I hate people who try to make you feel like you're being too needy. What? You're not showing up at all. How can I be needy? What are you talking about? Like you're not there at all. At all. So how am I being needy? Now, again, talking from a personal experience, I can't recall someone actually using the word needy to me, but you know, honey, you know when they are hinting, throwing subtle hints. And when I was younger, I used to be like, well, let me work harder to show them what I need. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, Diamond, your job is to just accept them for who they are and just keep it moving. And if it's easy for you to keep it moving, and they're not working, just like, wait, I'm not willing to lose this relationship because of that, then, oh, no, I'm sorry, I didn't show up. I've had that happen in my life. I've had that. So I know it happens. I know that it's a situation for many people. I know it. I know it actually far too well. Oh, we got another comment. Naomi is very much involved in the conversation. Much appreciated. I think Rob told us that he had to step away from, he couldn't text or send a message. So I know he's in the chat. So I understand, Rob. Okay, what did you say here? I think we have always had the responsibility to make way for a message to find its way. Okay. Support can come in many different forms. Support in a way that you can, and you will receive blessings. Believe me, when you give with a generous heart, yes, very true, you will receive blessings graciously. Again, another profound comment. Thank you, Naomi, for sharing it. You're absolutely right, which is why I show up the way I do in my relationships. See, if you go to follow me on Instagram, Follow me on Instagram. I really got some good gems out there. Like, a lot of people are loving these daily gems. I'm going to tell you that there are many relationships that already passed their expiration date. And many people need to get back into the position of actually honoring the expiration dates on those people in their lives and move on. Because you are continuing to hold on to a relationship that had already expired. Already expired. That person has left you in the dust and have gone on to do things that they want to do and not consider you or your feelings about what you need in this circle of network. I'm telling you, it's true. If you don't believe me, just go to your social media feeds and look through it and tell me. Recognize yourself. You can come back. Always, the show will be aired and archived. Drop a comment at a later date and time, because you can always stay involved in the conversation. So you can always come back to the show and say, I want to post something else, because I'm always getting notification and responding. And people who actually post get to respond to that as well. Go through your feed and you'll see how many of those people are actually truly showing up in your life in a way that's meaningful, or are they just looking for numbers? Because I'm going to tell you that we live in a society now that is all about the number. How many friends you can get, how many likes you can get. It's all about me, and not about us. It's about me, what I need. It's me. Wait, what? It's about just you? Then you don't need me. I'm taking up space. And I don't want to take up space. I don't want to just be there just to be tolerated. I want to be there because you want me there. And I don't want you to want me there just sitting on the shelf. I need you to do something with me there. See, I love on my friends. I support my colleagues. I show up to strangers. I'm cordial and helpful to my neighbors. We're not, despite what you believe, we're not created just happenstance. We're not just created for ourselves. That is my belief. We're created to be here for others. We are. There are some really self-centered people in the world. Self-centered people. They don't need nobody, not even you. Let's be very clear. I see you, iRob. So welcome to the comments. I know that you're in commute. So iRob says, I don't expect anything from anyone. If they show up, cool. If not, cool. I tip my hat to you, iRob, if that's the relationships that you have in your life. That doesn't work for me. It doesn't. It doesn't. Once in a while, listen, and once in a while means there's many times people just can't show up. But it's not about that. It's not about they just can't show up or they're showing it. It's about they can't show up, but they want to show up, but most of the time they actually show up. There's a lot of people, iRob, that say, I would show up if I could, but I can't. And they, never show up. Never do they show up. All they do is, well, I wish I could. I was trying. I thought I could do it. Excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. At some point, it's just an excuse. Once in a while, you can't show up. That's human nature. We just can't do it all the time. I can't do it all the time. Sometimes I would be killing myself to do the extra. But my friends, my true friends, know that. And I don't put that guilt on them. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. If you call me in the wee hours of the morning, it's not about, oh, can I call? Okay, what do you need me to do? What's up? Are you okay? My motto is this. And I guess I will get ready to end the show with this. I've learned in my life that you don't make deposits in places you can't make a withdrawal from. And you can quote me on that. I've been saying it for years. Stop making deposits in places you can't make withdrawals from. And that is relationships, on the job, wherever. If you constantly depositing in other people and no one's depositing in you, you are left empty and broken. And I don't know anybody who choose to be empty and broken. What? No, we're not doing that. And just die? Like, you get one life and you just die. So you've been having a lot of empty relationships. You just die an empty person. Absolutely not. I'm not doing that. So I tip my hat to Rob. He's cool if nobody shows up. I'm not cool with that. Once in a while, you got that. But all the time, if that's your attitude and the position you play, I'm sorry. We need to part ways and just let this be. Because it doesn't work for me. It's just an empty relationship that I'm calling a friendship that ain't filling me with anything. And I'm telling you, I'm speaking from transparency. My life is very full with a lot of different things. The show, working a 9-to-5 job, serving my community, going to school. I'm doing a lot of different things. And sometimes I'm doing too much. And then when I'm starting to feel depleted, who's pouring into me? Now, I'm a faith person, so I definitely go to my God and I pray for strength and clarity and peace and calmness and stillness and all those different things. But again, remember I said that we were not created just for ourselves. So I believe, you don't have to believe in God or anything. This is me. I believe that God created this planet with people on it so that we can be there for each other. Not just if you show up, you do. If you don't, you don't. No dig, Rob, but I'm just saying. So that is my thought for today. Again, know your circle and the role they play is important to your mental wellness. It's important. You owe nobody anything for deciding to walk away from that relationship if it doesn't serve you. Because the bottom line is, what will you be missing? It sounds like nothing, just a person taking up space. And you may cry, you may feel broken, you may feel lost, but guess what? In time, all wounds will heal. They may not heal the way you want them to, but they will heal. You have to want to do the healing. You have to want to be healed. And the person in that relationship has to want you being healed. It takes two to tangle. Nobody's tangling by themselves. No one. All right, my people, that's today's show. Thank you so much for joining me on today's topic. I truly appreciate your time. I always strive to give you a very good and insightful conversation. I'm hoping that you will walk away from this show be like, okay, I like the show. You may not agree with everything I'm saying, but you showed up, you post a comment, you gave me a thumbs up. If you gave me a thumbs down, then you post a comment why you gave me a thumbs down. It's all in love. I truly appreciate you. Let me tell you, you would want to prepare yourself for the people I have coming on the show in the next few weeks. Oh boy, is it going to be some great conversations. I got some entertainment. Fingers is crossed that they're able to work that out. I got some people coming to tell their stories. There's a lot going on. So I'm hoping that you will subscribe, like, and comment. Always share this show on your social media platforms or with a friend. Copy paste this show in a text message and send it to someone and ask them to get involved by subscribing. Okay? Until next time, people, be well, be good to yourself, as I hope this show was to you. Until next time, I will see you in the jewel box, the gem box, the diamond box next week. Same time, Monday at 6 p.m. Otherwise, remember, follow the show at www.voicesgathering.com. Sign up on the mailing list so that you can get notifications when the show will not be aired. And you can go watch an archive show. All right, people, be well. Thank you. And I will see you next time. All right. Bye.